Good morning, all of you. Hope you all are doing well. Let's start with today's session. Quick recap of last session. I think in the last session, we started with very important topic that is data types, isn't it? Then we saw the classification. I think few data types we have discussed as well, like numeric. Numeric data type means any value which is numbers, like whole numbers or floating point. So in that I told you like one int is there, then small int, big int, right? Decimal, then float, double, all they come under numeric data type. Then character data type we saw where we want to store any text information, right? So in that we saw char, fixed length, varchar variable length, and then third text, unlimited they say. Third category we saw that is date and time, right? In that we saw date, time, then date time, okay? And then fourth category was Boolean, in which only one is there, Boolean, yes or no. Now only one was remaining in that category, one specialized data type called binary data type. Usually when to use it? When you want to dump your file content in the database. Like if you have image files or you are having a PDF file or you're having an audio or a video file, and that file only you want to dump it in the database. Correct? So that data you can store in the binary pattern. Okay, so we go for binary. So this is a specialized data. For dumping that files also in the database, there are special MySQL functions provided. Correct? So in that first is binary. This is fixed length, same like char and varchar. Okay. So suppose you're using binary and 20 if you have given. Okay. And if your value doesn't need 20. Okay. Like if it is taking only 5 bytes. So 5 byte data will be there. Remaining 15 bytes will be padded with zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. As in case of char, remaining are padded with spaces, if you remember. याद है ना? If the value is RAM, RAM, so remaining 7 were spaces. All will take 10 only. Get it? But the remaining locations were padded with spaces. Right? Same way here, the remaining locations are padded with zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, like that. Okay? But it will take same length, fixed length. All values will take same length. And if you want variable binary, then use var binary. Okay. Here, if you have given size 20 and you need only 5 bytes, it will take 5 bytes only. Remaining are not padded with spaces, sorry, with zeros. Okay. It will take only as much as needed. Though max 20 you have given, but you need only 5 bytes. It will take only 5. Here 20, you need 5. It will take 5, but remaining 15 are padded with 0, 0, 0, 0. That such thing doesn't happen here. Correct? So here it is going to take only that many bytes as many are needed. Correct? And beyond binary and variable binary, if your data is too large, like as I said, you want to store a very big audio video file. You have a video only, and that complete video only you want to dump in the database, which generally now modern systems don't do. They directly copy it on the cloud, and just the path is maintained in the database. Correct? But the facility is given. It's called as binary large object, used for storing large amount of binary data. So very big files are there, very big audio files or video files. They are generally dumped using blob. Get it? So this was about the last one data type called binary. Okay. So all the data types, I hope they are clear to you. numeric data type, character data type, date and time, boolean, and binary. Yes, you can just give me quick confirmation, guys, so that we can.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, so very good. So that we can move to the next important topic. Now, next we have to discuss about constraints. Okay. Now, you may think everything is this theoretical or what? So initially the definitions you will feel theoretical, but we are going to apply these constraints. Huh? So how to apply these constraints while creating table, I'll be showing you, don't worry. So everything is practically, but initially the basic definitions I have to tell you. So what do you mean by constraints? You can just remember constraints are rules, okay? They are the rules which are applied, or they are the rules which data in the column has to follow, okay? Rules, constraints are the rules and you have applied it on some column, applied on some column. And the values in that column should satisfy that rules. Whatever values are dumped in that column, all the values are satisfying that rules. Understanding what I'm trying to tell? Okay? So the constraints means what, that are clear to you. Constraints means rules. Okay? They are the rules, and these rules you have applied on the columns of your table. And as many values are there in that column, they all are satisfying that rule. Means any value which is not satisfying that rule cannot be stored only. Your MySQL will reject, it will bounce that value. That value won't get saved only in your database. That value will never get saved in the database or in that column if that value doesn't satisfy the rule. Correct? It is the same thing in real life also. In real life also, many constraints are there which we have to follow. Only the problem is many times there are loopholes, right or not? Like if you are entering in a metro station, if you are entering in the metro station, the rule is that the ticket is to be scanned only. Otherwise, the gate doesn't get open and you don't get entry inside. Right? So it will be impossible na, that someone is inside and he's not having ticket only. I think it is near to impossible because anyone who enters inside the station has to pass through that gate, right or no? So whatever ticket he has taken, printed ticket or on the phone, the QR is scanned, the door get open, then only he goes inside. So whoever is inside the station, they have followed that rule. Means the constraint is followed, right? That is one example I told you, right? You are entering into the airport, inside an airport. So inside airport, that security guards are there. They're I think that force is different. That are called as special security force is there. They are on the gate. So first they check your identity, right or no? Either your Aadhaar card or your passport or whatever. And if it is verified, then only you get entry inside the airport. It is impossible that without checking you got entry inside the airport. It means you have followed that constraint. Correct? So constraints means what are clear to you. They are the rules which you apply on the columns and the values in that column satisfy that constraint. Correct? So there are different types of constraints which we'll be learning. So what are constraints? Constraints define rules or conditions. Correct? Many conditions are there, like when you are supposed to drive, you have to drive only if you have a valid license. Now that is different case in India that the people who are supposed to check that they are not sincere. Therefore, many times what happens, you drive without the license. But The rule is what you are allowed to drive only if you have a valid license. तो वो भी एक condition है, right? So constraints define rules or condition that must be satisfied by the data in the table. Correct? So you have a table. In the table, there are columns. On that column, you are applying that constraint, and whatever values are there in that column, they satisfy that constraint. Okay? Now, what all different constraints are there? That we will learn one by one. Okay? And then how to apply them while creating table, I'll show you. Don't worry. Okay? First constraint is unique constraint. Unique. Okay? Now, when you apply this constraint unique to one or more column also, on one column also you can apply or more than one. I'll tell you how it is. So if you are applying this constraint unique on any column, all the values in that column should be distinct. Distinct means you're understanding, no? Not repeated. But it can be null. Means in that column, you can give null value. But whatever values are given, they are distinct. Getting? Like the column is email. Okay? Email, varchar, 100, suppose I have given. And after that, I'm writing unique. Okay? So now what this says, whatever email you give can never be repeated. Means in email column, as many emails are entered, never there can be two emails which are same. Means two records are there, but the emails are same. Impossible. Why? Because to email you have given unique. So whenever you try to add another record and the email, what you give is already existing, it will not save only. It will directly give an error. Unique constraint violated. Understanding? But you can leave email blank. Means it is not mandatory that you have to give email. It's optional. It is optional that if I don't want to give email, you can keep it null. Correct? So you can leave it blank. But if you give email, it has to be unique. Correct? Here, if it is a@gmail.com and another email, again, you're trying to save as a at the rate, this will not get saved only. Why? Because a@gmail.com is already there. And MySQL will generate a error. Which constraint? Unique constraint violated. Getting guys? So what is unique constraint? The value in that column should be distinct, never repeated. But that column value can be null. Null allowed. Null allowed. But whatever values are given, they are supposed to be distinct only. Understanding? Please give me quick confirmation about unique constraint.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, yes, sir.
Then we have not null constraint. Not null. Now, not null constraint says that you are not allowed to leave that column blank. Okay? Like example, I'm creating one column name, varchar 100. Okay? Okay. Someone wants to ask something. Someone has unmuted. किसी ने unmute करके रखा है. Let me check that. चलो. Okay. See to it, guys. When you're attending session 1 hour, you're concentrating 1 hour here only. Okay? At a time, if you're doing lot of things, it will be difficult for you. Not from my side. I said, no, from my side, I have collected fees. 499 rupees I have taken. It won't make any difference to my side. Whatever is going to be the difference, your side. ठीक है? I'm very some people may say he's so rude also. Getting? He's so uh, very frankly he tells, or he's very arrogant also. Maybe this is my principle. Getting? So my side, it's not going to make any difference. Difference your side, guys. Okay? So see to it. I'm not scolding or something. Some may say, yeah, sir, scold kar rahe." So no, nothing like that. You have to decide. Name varchar 100, not null. Now what it says is you cannot leave this column blank. And but obvious, na, name is such column where you have to give. You cannot, it's not an optional value. Like email is an optional value. As email is optional, you can leave it null. Okay. Huh, but you cannot have two records with the same email. Right or no? You can check also like on Amazon and all if you register and if already there is a, it says it is already present. Even the phone number also is registered, it will say it is already present. Correct? But while login, it gives you option. You can log in by phone number also or by email also. Right or no? So what I want to say, optional, but if you give value, it has to be distinct. That is unique. But not null says that value can be repeated. You can give repeated values or whatever, but you cannot leave it blank. Why? Because it is not null. Compulsory, you have to give the value. You cannot leave this column blank. Okay? Okay? So not null constraint is also clear to you. Unique constraint clear, not null constraint clear. Then we have check constraint. Now, using check constraint, you can apply your condition, any condition on the value of that column. Whatever conditions you have, that condition you are applying on the values of that column. So whatever values are there, they all are satisfying that condition. Example I take, like age, column is integer. Get it? Now you want that age column should be strictly greater than equal to 18 only. So whatever value user will enter, it will check whether it is greater than or equal to 18. So here you will apply the check constraint. Check, and then inside you'll write age greater than 18. But remember, in this, when you're applying the condition, it is not like that in that condition, the same column should be involved on which that constraint is applied. In this condition, you can take another column also. Some other column value also can be involved there. Understanding? Very basic because these are asked in the interviews. Such things they'll ask. Like in this check constraint, can some other column also be involved here? It is allowed. Okay. But what this constraint is, it is saying that equal to also input. It is saying that the value in age column should be always 18 or above. So if you try to give value which is less than 18, it is a violation and error will come. Okay? So this is one example. Like this, there can be many. Like for example, there is a bill status. Okay? Status, varchar, something you have given. Okay? Varchar 30. Right? And then you are applying check constraint. Check status in, and then you are putting the list of possible status like uh, pending. Okay, so fixed status are there. One is pending, second is shipped, third is out for delivery, fourth in transit, fifth delivered, and sixth returned. So you want to say that my status can be from the six values only, nothing other than that. Like example, I'm saying pending, shipped, then in transit, out for delivery, getting delivered, right? Returned. So these are fixed status, and whatever status you give should be from this list only. So you're putting a check like this, check status in and the list of status. So when you're entering anything other than this, your MySQL will generate error. Understanding, guys? Okay. So I hope the check constraint is also clear. Check constraint enforces some condition on the values in your column. That condition is generally built using relational operators, logical operators, membership operator. Like there is a salary column, and the constraint is that the salary, see a salary float. Okay, and the constraint is that minimum salary is 15,000, maximum 1,50,000. So no one's salary can be more than 1,50,000 and not less than 15. So you will apply a check constraint like this. Check, and then you'll write salary between. Between is a keyword. Okay? Between 15,000 and 1,50,000. So every time what it will check, whenever you are adding a salary, it will check whether it is between these two values. So if you are giving salary less than 15,000 or 1,50,000 above, it will not add. It will not say only. It will say check constraint violated. Right, guys? So unique constraint is clear. Unique constraint is clear. Not null constraint is
Yes.
clear. Check constraint is also clear.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Very good. Then next is default constraint. Default. So you can give some default value to the column. So whenever you are adding the values, and that time, if you don't give any explicit value, it will use the default value. Meaning to any column, you can assign and keep some default value. Okay. And when you are adding the record, that time, if you don't give any value to that column, it will take that default value. Understanding? Like there is one column called gender. Okay. Gender, care, something is there. And here you're giving default male. Okay. So whenever you are adding the record, and that time you're not giving any value for gender column. For gender column, you haven't given any value. Automatic, it will take the default value. Understanding? Clear? Like, or if there is a flag called whether the bill is pending or it is paid. Maybe a retailer is there who gives material to the customers, and customers on credit they take it, and then afterwards they do the payment. Getting credit based sale is also there. You should know all this, guys. Okay. So later the payment is collected from them. Right. So there is one flag called build, yes or no. So I've used boolean. Okay. And here also I'm putting a default value false. So whenever you are saving the bill record, any bill record, and that time you are not giving any value to this column, it will take default false. Understanding? Okay. So default is used to give some default value to the column, which will be used in absence of explicit value. Means when you're inserting the record, and that time, if you don't give any explicit value, it will use this default value. Okay? Then we have next constraint, that is primary key constraint. This you have to understand it carefully. Primary key constraint. Getting? Now, some may ask then what is super key, what is candidate key and all. right? They are not keywords in MySQL. They are just concepts. Their concepts are there, but they are ultimately achieved using this only primary key. So primary key, this is a proper keyword given by MySQL. Okay. Generally, like when you create more than one column, combined primary key. There are more than one column and you're making all that column combined as a primary key. Then we theoretically we call it as a super key. Theoretically, it will be called as a super key, but every super key is a primary key. Just remember. So when you're using more than one column and you're combining them and making a primary key, we call super key, and the members are called candidates. So this is a candidate, this is a candidate, this is a candidate. So all these three are candidates, and using that we created a super key, and that super key is a primary key only. So I'll tell you when we need more than one column combined as a primary. Okay? But what is the primary key? The primary key means the value of that column has to be distinct, like unique, okay, and not null also. Means it doesn't even allow leaving it null, which is allowed in unique. Unique allows to give null value, but values are distinct in unique. Here in primary key, the values are distinct as well as it cannot be null. So remember, distinct means unique plus not null. Unique plus not null will become which key, guys? Primary key. Get it? But you can have one or more column as a primary key. Understanding? One or more column, you can make it as a primary key. Generally, it is called as a super key, composite, or you can call it as composite because it is made up of many candidates. So many candidates when combined and we make a primary key, we call it as a super key. But primary key means a key whose value is distinct as well as not null. Understanding? So primary key means a column whose values are distinct as well as what? Not null. Okay. Now I'll just tell you the situation where more than one column you can make as a primary key. Okay. Okay. But please remember, you cannot have more than one primary key for one table. Every table can have maximum how many primary keys? Only one. It is a rule. Okay. So any table can have how many primary keys? At
One.
most one. It is a rule. So any table can have at most one primary key. Correct? So suppose if you are creating a table, right? Like it is an order table, order details table, in which we are keeping the order placed by which customer and for which product. Okay? So possible, I'm creating a table called create table orders. Okay. In that maybe order number is there or order number is not there, but we have kept the order date and the amount, everything. But two important things are there in it. One is the customer ID, okay, and another is the product ID, like that. Means we should know no, that this order is placed by which customer and the order is for which product. So one customer ID and the product ID is maintained here in this orders table. Okay. Now I want this combine as a primary key. Now I'll say combine primary means what? Meaning if the customer ID repeat, product should be different. Product ID repeat, customer should be different, but both cannot repeat. See. customer ID and product ID. Like this. Customer 1 has placed order for product 5. Customer 1 only for product 9 is okay. Means one customer only has placed order for product number 5. Customer number 1 only has placed order for product number 9 is allowed. Means customer number repeated, product number different. Or the product number is repeated, then customer should be different. Getting? Means can the same product be ordered by two different customers? Can two different customers order the same product? General knowledge, you tell me.
Yes, sir.
Leave it. Huh. It is possible, no? The same. I also have purchased AirPods, and someone else also has purchased AirPods. The same product can be purchased by two different customers. And can the same customer purchase two different products? Possible. But same combination cannot come again. 1 5, if it is coming again, is not allowed. 1 5, 1 9, 1 repeat, but at least product different. Product same to at least customer different. But the same customer, same product appearing again is not allowed. Then you have to make the combined primary key. When you make this both column combined primary, means what? The combined value is unique. Combined value unique means you got no? 1 5 cannot appear again. Means in 1 5, 1 appearing again, but here something else. Or 5 appearing again, but customer number is different. Is allowed. But same customer, same product again appeared, not allowed. Get it? So that indicates what? That both are collectively primary key, not individually. And individually, you cannot keep only them as primary. Why? Because just now I told one table can have maximum one primary key. So see here, if you are writing like this, immediately after that, okay, see, create table orders, and here you are writing customer ID integer primary key, and here you are writing product ID integer primary key. Will it allow? Means what does it indicate? It is assuming that cust ID is also primary key and product ID is also primary. In short, does it assume that there are two primary keys? Yes. Individually it takes. It takes individually. Customer ID primary key, product ID primary. But this won't work. Getting MySQL will give a error. At a time in one table, you cannot have more than one primary key. They are individually primary. You understand it? Means customer ID primary key, product ID primary key. Means customer ID also should be unique, product ID should be unique. But in reality, what I said, customer ID repeat, okay, product ID should be different. Product ID repeat, okay, customer ID should be different. Then in that case, you have to give the constraint at table level, not at column level. So when I'm writing the constraint, immediately after the column, when you're creating the table, you're mentioning the column, data type. And immediately after that, if I write constraint, they are called as column level constraint. Column level constraint and table level apply to column only, guys. Only the place where you are writing. So whenever you write a constraint, immediately after the column name, then we call them as which constraint?
Table level, column
Pardon?
level constraint.
Column level constraint. Okay? So that the constraint is applicable only to that column. but you can write table level constraint also. Now, table level constraint meaning what? You list out all your columns, their data type, column data type, and when all the column are listed, then at the end you're giving the constraint. But that constraint are also applied to columns only. But where you're typing it, where you're writing after listing out all the columns. Now you have to write at the end primary key, bracket, and who are the primary keys from the above list? Cust ID, comma, product ID. Getting? So when I write the constraint at the very end, after enlisting all the column, first I'm enlisting all the column, and then at the end I'm writing the constraint. Then it becomes a table level constraint. And usually in such situations, you have to give table level constraint. Now tell me, is it going to take cust ID, prod ID individually primary or are they combined primary key?
Combined primary.
Combined.
Combined primary. Combined primary meaning you understood, no? It will be called as a super key. Correct? And the members of that super key are called as candidates. Who are the candidates who will take part in that super key? So there is no keyword called super key, guys. It is a concept. Conceptual thing is there. But the keyword is primary key. Means you are going to achieve super key with the help of primary key keyword only. Understanding? But now when you make them collective primary key, then I hope you understood. Can the customer ID repeat? But if cust ID repeat, then what should be different?
Product ID.
And if product ID repeat, then customer 1, product 5, customer 1, product 9, customer 6, product 5. Means when the product repeat, customer should be different. Or if the customer repeat, product should be different. But the same customer, same product, can it appear again? I want like that. Now you may say it can repeat. In reality, it can happen. The same customer is purchasing the same product again.
Yes,
Right
possible.
or no? In Amazon and all, it says also that please, what you can say. See, after some few days back, you have purchased something. Get it? So it says like refill your wardrobe again by purchasing the same thing. Like 4 months back, you had purchased some brand product. So after few months, again it gives you an intimation that please buy that again. Okay, some soap or you have taken some cosmetics and all. So they know that this cosmetic will get over within 1 month. So after 1 month, it starts giving you notification that your cosmetic is about to be purchased again. Getting? So that in reality it can happen. But here I want condition like that. My condition is like that. That same customer, same product should not appear again. Then I have to make collectively primary key. Understanding? But if you want that same customer, same product can appear again, then don't make them as primary. Instead, you add another column only called order ID. Understanding? And make that as a primary key. Getting? So now here the order number only will be different. Getting? 2, 3, 4. So if suppose 1 5 is appearing again 1 5, no problem, order number is different. This 1 5 was ordered in order number 1 and they are ordered in order number 4. Understanding? So in that situation, I'll put another primary key only. But suppose I want like that same customer, same product should not come again. Then you can make them collectively primary key. So whenever you want more than one column as combined primary key, then can we write that primary key at column level or we have to write at table level?
Table level.
ठीक है? Please remember that. So what you'll remember that whenever you want more than one column to be acting as a combined primary key, please don't give at which level. Don't give at
Table
which
level.
level. Which level?
Column level.
Don't column level. Because if you try to give this as column level, it will try to apply primary to this also and this also. Individual primary key. Can you have more than one in one table? Individual primary key.
No.
Customer ID primary, product ID primary. You cannot have. That is the rule. So any table can have only one primary. And you want this both should be combined primary. Then you cannot give like this. You have to give table level only. Okay. So that is also clear to you guys. And one more type of constraint is there called foreign key. Getting? This is also very important. Please understand this because this foreign key will help you in the next advanced topics like joins and all. When we'll come to the topic joins, okay, referential integrity, that time this foreign key is very important. Okay. So what this foreign key is, just understand, it is a column in one table, in any one table. It is a column in one table, but it is referring its values from the primary key of some another table. Understanding? And that is called referential integrity. It is referring its values from some another table's primary key. Correct? So in this column, you cannot have values other than these primary keys. Like suppose in this primary key, the values are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And we are saying this is the foreign key referring to this table's primary key. I told you, foreign key is a column in one table, but it is referring its values from the primary key of some another table. मीन्स उसका वैल्यू ये किसी दूसरे टेबल के प्राइमरी की से ही लिया गया है, not other than that. Meaning, tell me, in this foreign key, if I give value 1, I'm giving 4, again I'm giving 1, maybe 2, different records are there. Okay? I'll give you an example where such situation will come. Okay? I'm giving 3, possibly again 1. Till here, is it allowed? No problem, no? Because all the values are from these primary keys. Is 1 present in this 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes. Is 4 present? Yes. 1 present. 2 present. 3 present in 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes. Is 4 present in? Yes. But suppose I give 5. Is it violating referential integrity? Can anyone tell me? Yes or no? Violating means you're understanding, no? You're not obeying. You're going against. Like you're standing on the traffic signal and you're not obeying it. Please remember when you're following the traffic signal means as good as you're obeying God or you're obeying your parents, you're obeying your grandparents. जो ट्रैफिक सिग्नल नहीं फॉलो करता है, those who don't follow, those who break the traffic signal means they are not respecting God also and they are not respecting their parents also. Getting? It is my policy. It's my principle. Follow it. Let that red become green, then only you go. Getting? And still it is red and you have braked it, means you're not obeying it. You're not following that rule. You're violating that rule. Getting? Here also the same thing. Getting? So tell me, is 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, till here everything valid? Why? Because it is from these primary keys. But when I give 5, is 5 present in this primary key? No. Means are you violating the rule? Meaning here referential integrity is violated. Why it is called referential integrity? Because it is referring its value from someone else. Foreign key is referring its value from some other table's primary key. Okay? So can anyone tell me when I try to give 5, will that 5 get saved or error will come? That foreign key violated.
Will save, I guess.
Loudly,
Won't
loudly,
save.
speak. Loudly, I'm not able to hear you guys, what you said. Anyone can say. Girls also can answer. It's not like only boys should answer.
Uh, it won't work actually.
It won't work. Why? Because
This file.
is not present in this primary keys. And foreign key rule is only that foreign key uses all the values from some another table's primary key. So if it is using something which is not there in that another table primary, it is violated. Understanding? Clear? So best example I'll give you quickly. And still if you have doubt, you can ask me, yeah, guys. Okay? One is an employee table and another is a department table. Okay? Department table is having department ID and the department name, suppose. Okay? We are having 3 department, 10, 20, 30. Maybe it is sales, it is IT, HR. Okay? Product based company रहेगा तो sales रहेगा ही रहेगा. Right or not? And HR is as a formality. You have to, bhale in that HR one person is there, but that department is to be maintained. Getting? And if it's a product, they have their developers also. The IT department is there. So 10, 20, 30 employees are there. Here we have employee ID, the name of the employee, the salary of the employee. And now how will we come to know that to which department this employee is working? So we have to keep one department ID also. Getting? Now, can you tell me in the employee table, is this department ID foreign key? Because it is going to refer its values from the primary key of the department. Adding employees, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Yeah, different employees are added. And we are giving departments to them. So their names are there, their salaries. Suppose your 10 is there, next employee 20, next again 10, next is 30, getting? Next is again 10. So with this, what we come to know that first employee is working in sales department, second is working in IT, third again in sales, fourth in HR, fifth again in sales. Is it relating? So is employee tables department ID a foreign key because it is referring its values from the primary key of the department table? Department table's primary key. It is taking the values from that primary key. So can it happen that I'm adding one employee 6 and I'm giving department number 70? Is it violation?
Yes.
Yes, because we don't have only a department with the number 70. This is wrong. This record only should not get saved. Getting? Because you're trying to give value 70 and this is a foreign key. It is referring its values from some another table's primary key. So these values should be from that column only. Right or no? You're giving something value which is not in this column. 10 was there, 20 was present, 10 was present, 30 is present, 10 is present, but 70 is not there. It is violating referential integrity. So that is foreign key. So what is foreign key? I hope you got it. It is a column in one table referring its values from the primary key from some another table. So the table in which that primary key is there, it's called as a parent table, guys. And the foreign key in which table it is present, it's called as a child table. Today, lot of explanation was there. Therefore, we have not moved to any next slide. No problem. The concept is clear. Okay? So the table in which foreign key is there is called as a child table. And the table in which the primary key is there is called as a parent. Because the existence of the child is existence dependent on the parent. Employee, because of existence of department, means
Yes.
does employee exist? Why? Because the department is existing, because employee is existing. Vice versa is not necessary. See, there can be a department, okay, newly created department, but there are no recruitment yet done for that. Can it happen? Means we have department 40, but there is no single employee belonging to 40. Is possible. Yes or no? But if there is an employee, sure the department of that employee is existing. So whose existence is dependent on whose existence? Child existence is dependent on parent. Everything is real life, guys. In real life also child exists. Why? Because parent exists. Right or no? The existence dependence of child is on parent. Vice versa nahi hai, no? Because there are people nowadays, now the scenario is like that people are there, those who marry but they don't want kids. That is their choice. Getting? But अगर kid है तो वो किसके वजह से है? वो parent के वजह से. Getting? So remember, the child is existing because of parent. Vice versa, not necessary. Getting? So child is existence depending on parent. Right? Then we have to see the rules that if parent is deleted, then what will happen to the child? Or if parent is modified, then what will happen to the child who are existent dependent? Get it? You can also call them as referencing table and referred table. Getting? So department is a referred table and employee is a referencing table. Who is referencing the parent? Child. So this is a referencing table and this is the referenced table. Now, how to give that foreign key? Okay, so that it is good practice to give at table level only. For example, suppose you are creating employee table. Okay, create table. I'll take a complete example also in MySQL Workbench. Don't worry. Okay, I'm creating one DEPT table. There is DID integer primary key. So department ID is a primary key of what? Department table. Okay, that is done. That table is created. Now you're creating one more table called employee. Employee ID, integer, primary key. Is this the primary of employee table? Employee table also will have its own primary key. Every employee will have a unique number. Okay. Employee name will be there. Okay. You want employee name should not be left blank, then you will give not null. So can you see here, department name also not allowed to leave blank. I'll give not null. So till now I'm writing all the constraints at which level? Column level. Immediately after the column. Correct? Again, suppose your salary is there, float, then you want to put a check constraint, check salary between 15,000 and 1,50,000. Okay? And then I'm having DID integer. But I want to tell that this DID is a foreign key and it is referencing its values from the department's primary key. Correct. So you can write here, but good practice is write foreign key also at the table level. Table level means you're understanding, na? Enlist all the column and at the end you write. So at the end I'll write foreign key, FREIGN, foreign key, Who is the foreign key? DID from the above. From the above columns, who is your foreign key? DID that I wrote. And then you have to mention that it is referencing whom? To references departments, department ID. So with this, we have put a referential integrity. Means now always it will confirm that whenever you add an employee record, it will confirm that whatever department number you give is present in the department table's department ID. Understanding? Yes or no? Quickly confirmation you give. Insert into
Yes, sir.
employee values 1. I'm giving Ram 4500 and then I'm giving department 10. So is your MySQL going to confirm first that this department 10 is there in the department table? If it doesn't get this 10 in this department table, will this record get saved? No. The record won't get saved and it will say foreign key violated. Okay? Practically, I'll show you. Don't worry. Okay? I'm going to show you that. But quickly, within 2 minutes, what we'll do, all the constraints which I told you, unique constraint, check constraint, primary key constraint, and foreign key. Quickly, their definitions will do. And next time, one practical demo I'll show you of foreign key and primary key. Okay? So unique constraint ensures values in a column are unique across the table. Get it? Means in that column, all the values are distinct, no repeated value. Then not null constraint. Now, not null constraint means ensures that the value is never left blank. Ensures a column cannot have a null value. Null means nothing. It is indicating like that. Okay? Then check constraint enforces a condition and each and every value should satisfy that condition. Get it? So ensures a condition to be true for each row. Then default constraint. Here to the column, we will give some default value. And when it will use that default value? In absence of explicit value. When you don't give any value, it will take the default value. Okay. So provides a default value for a column. Like example, I give you like you have an order table and in order table, there is order date. You can give the default value as current date. So whenever the order is placed, what will be the order date of it? Current date only. Current date will be automatic, the order date. Okay? Because you have given that as a default value. So provides a default value for a column if no value is specified. Then primary key. Primary key is unique plus null. Unique plus not null. Primary key ensures that the column value is distinct as well as not null. Okay. And can we have more than one column as a primary key? Quickly
No,
answer, guys.
no,
Means
no, sir.
more than one primary key cannot be there. More than one primary key you cannot have. But can I make combined more than one columns as a primary key?
Yes.
Yes. So that will be called as conceptually what we call it as. We have given a word to it.
Super key.
Super key, right, right. You're right. Okay. So, and generally super key you have to give at column level or table level. If I want to create a super key, okay, suppose there is
Level.
cus, uh-huh, loudly, cust ID integer. Here only can I write primary key and there is product ID integer primary. Can I write like this?
No.
No, no.
No, then that's what I'm asking. Then at which level then we should write? Column level or table level?
Table level.
Table
Table
level.
level. So at the
Table.
end, what you'll write? Primary
Primary
key
key.
and
And,
bracket you'll write cust ID comma
and
product.
product ID.
Product ID.
Primary means you understood. Cust
Yes.
ID repeat. Okay, product ID will be different. Product ID repeat. Cust
First
ID
ID.
will be different. But
Yes.
both cannot repeat. Correct? ठीक है,
Yes.
चलो. So enforces the uniqueness of values in one or more column. And last is foreign key. Okay, quickly about this, I've taken 5 minutes more. ठीक है, very sorry for that. But this much part I'll complete and then we will stop. So foreign key is what? A column in one table, but it is referring its values from primary key from another table.
Another table.
It is connecting two tables. It is called as referential integrity. So enforce this, and this will be very helpful at the time when we will be learning joins. And joins is a very favorite topic in interviews. So enforces a link between two tables by referencing a column in one table that is primary key in another. Okay. Best example I
Yes.
gave you, department ID in employee is referring department ID of department table. Yes or no? Do you remember?
Yes. 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 Yes, sir.
This department ID of the department table, we are referring here to
From
here
the
it
employee
is.
table.
Okay, got it. So next time we'll take an example, then I'll show you practically in MySQL how that referential constraint is violated. Violation also we'll see. Okay, and then some more topics